Joining me now is Jen Psaki, MSNBC host and former White House press secretary under President Joe Biden. Jen, it's great to have you on. Let me ask you this. You have been through being the public face of an administration. You have been in public life and in the White House, in the Obama White House and the Biden White House. You have been there, I think, in the Obama White House when Gabby Giffords was shot.
Yes.
You have watched public life as when Steve Scalise and those Republican members of Congress were shot at the baseball game. The reaction here feels very different and augurs something very dark to my mind. But I feel like you have seen this up close and have a better perspective than I do. How do you see it?
I mean, Chris, it's so important, as you just did, to remind people that this is not normal and it shouldn't feel normal and we shouldn't allow it to be normal. I mean, if there was an attack, God forbid, on the spouse of Kevin McCarthy or Mitch McConnell, you know what Joe Biden would do? The first thing he would do is he would say, is he okay? Is she okay? Yep. Can I call her? If I can't call her, can I call him? What do they need? What can we do for them? And if there was this crazy business of conspiracy theory pushing or just even inappropriate joking and laughing by anyone in the party, he would say, cut it out. And that's exactly what Barack Obama would do, and I've seen them both do. Because and that's not about political advantageousness, right? You're not trying to win political points in these moments. You're just being a human being, and you're doing what's morally right. And I think sometimes as we talk about, what leaders should be doing and whether they're standing up for democratic morals and things like that, we forget. I mean, some of these people are not, if they did this and acted like this, we wouldn't want them to be a coach, a teacher. No. Your neighbor. This is like not normal, moral human behavior. And that's what you want in your president, regardless of party.
Or any political leader. It's funny. I was in a conversation online with a few people about this the other day, which was about the notion of virtue in public leaders, which was something the founders were obsessed with. And I used to think it was kind of fuddy-duddy and even a little, to be honest, kind of reactionary, that it wasn't that important. And I've totally changed my mind on this. I mean, the German expression, the fish head rots from the head down, like, virtue in public life matters, and leadership matters, and this the kinds of thing Trump and others does in these moments have real tangible effects in the way that our politics operate and how the country works.
Right. I mean, if your leader, if someone you're thinking about electing and voting for is laughing in the face of an 82-year-old being brutally attacked with a hammer, I mean, that should be the bar. That should be a question. Is that the person you want to be governor? If you don't want them to be your neighbor, your kid's coach, do you want them to be leading your state?
There's also something consequential here, and I'd love to get your feedback on this. So the ability to inject a lie into discourse. And you got to give Elon Musk his credit here. He was the guy, the richest man in the world, who has a real weird persecution complex and is not spending all his time just drinking martinis on his yacht, which probably I would do if I were he, is very,
Who among us?
Yes, who among us? Well, I mean, it's very weird to me. Like, okay.
Yeah.
That said, he injects this poison, right? And it's like a drop of ink in a glass of water, right? It's just one drop, but then
graze the water.
Yeah. Before you know it, you can't see anything clearly. And I thought about that because now Trump and Trump's saying you've heard, and this became like canon and the right. But to me, it's actually not that different from the death panels of the Obamacare debate, where this insertion of just this one little lie that spreads is a kind of MO that has been cultivated over years.
Yeah. And you know what it reminds me of? I mean, I've spent a couple of years at the State Department. What happens in authoritarian dictatorship countries like Russia and China, where there's state-run media, no freedom of the press, and people are being spoon-fed information that has little twinklings of falsehoods, as you said, little drops that then spread into society and make people believe things. And that's, I think, exactly what we're seeing time and time and time again here.